Here we go. Are we working? We are working. Fantastic. Hello, Year 4. This is maths for, well, what have we got? Wednesday, the 27th of January, 2021. And let's start off by marking yesterday's work from Tuesday. So at the top of the page here, we have the spicy work that we started with down here. Goes into the spicier work underneath down here. Oh, typical. And we're back. Sorry about that little interruption. So the spicy and spicier work to mark. Remember to look at the question numbers so you know you're marking the right work. Well done. And spiciest. Remember, when you're marking your work, try and have a look if you got them wrong, or try and look at them with an adult or with somebody who's perhaps a bit more experienced at doing maths than you. Sort of thing I would normally do in class with you, and unfortunately we can't do it at the moment. But there might be a pattern. Sometimes you can see the reason why you went wrong. And that's really useful because, you know, if you got everything right all the time, you wouldn't be learning. I wouldn't be giving you work that's appropriate. So if you made a mistake, see if you can work out why. See if you can work out why these answers are the right answers. Okay, well done, guys. And we're back in. This is the learning objective for today. Tenths as decimals. Tenths as decimals. So the date today, 27/01/21, and learning objective. Could you write those in your books now, please? Okay, our warm-up activity is to do with converting from grams to kilograms or kilograms to grams. So we're going to be doing something like this. On one side, you are given the kilograms down here, and you need to convert them into grams. On the other side, you are also given kilograms, and you have to divide them into grams. So this time you have to convert them into grams. So whichever way you're doing it, you're going to have to multiply by 1,000. Multiplying by 1,000 because there are 1,000 grams in every kilogram. So if I was to weigh something like this cup and it came out as 600 grams, I know it's going to be a lot less because there's 1,000 of these in 1 kilogram. So if this weighed 600 grams, I know that it's going to be less than a kilogram. So let's see how we can do that multiplication, changing kilograms into grams. Find something a little bit heavier here. A laptop like this, quite a heavy solid thing, it's going to weigh more than a kilogram. Maybe it's going to weigh 2 kilograms. If I wanted to convert it into grams, how would I do that? 2 kilograms is how many grams? So I simply put my 2 in here, 2 units. If my laptop weighs 2 kilograms, it's going to be 2 point, and there's going to be a nothing there, okay? To convert that into grams, we have to multiply by 1,000. That's what you're going to be doing. So if we're multiplying by 1,000, are we going to be moving to the left, or are we going to be moving to the right? Exactly. We're going to be moving over here to the left because it's getting bigger. If we're multiplying, it's getting bigger, and we can see it goes from units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. So it's getting bigger. Multiplying by 1,000. In the number 1,000, we can see, why am I doing that with my mouse? I should be doing it with the pen, shouldn't I? Here we go, that's easier. In the number 1,000, we can see there's 3 placeholders, and we're going to remember those 3 because we want to actually move the number 3 times. So the 2 goes over here to that square, third move over here. So I put the 2 in and I fill in placeholders if I've got nothing else. So 2 kilograms, which is my laptop here, 2 kilograms is going to weigh approximately, or it's going to weigh exactly 2,000 grams. Okay, let's clear that and have a go at one of the examples. Okay, so your first question says 0.252. 0.252, that's your first question up there. That's how many kilograms it is. So let's put that into the place value chart. That's not going to work. I'll have to delete that one later now. So 0.252 252, and you multiply it by 1,000. Moving. There's my 0.252, and I've got to move everything over to the left-hand side 3 places. So the 0 we can ignore, and the 2 is going to jump 1 place, not into the decimal column. Decimal column is just for decimals. Don't let anything else go in there. It's just for decimals. So it jumps 1, 2, 3 jumps. 3 times, remember, always 3 if you're multiplying by 1,000. And the 2 goes there. The digit 5 is going to go 1, 2, 3 jumps, and the 5 goes in there, and the 2 finally is going to go 1, 2, 3, and it's going to end up in there. So the answer is 252. That would go in here, 252. Kilograms to grams, again, here you've got a decimal with a 6.371, so they're slightly bigger numbers on this side. They're all more than a kilogram. 6.371. If we were going to have a go at that, we would have to say 6.371. Exactly the same thing. Move the 6. 1. Well, get rid of me. 6. 1, 2, 3. The 6 is going to go here. The 3 goes 1, 2, 3. It's going to go there. 7 goes 1, 2, 3. It's going to go here. And the 1 jumps 1, 2, 3. It's going to go here. Point nothing. So there's nothing there. It's 6,371. So that would be the top of the next column. Have a go at those. Pause the video. Have a go at those now, and I will see you in a minute. Okay, in today's learning, we are going to be looking at the part-whole model to partition hundredths into tenths and hundredths. So here we have a fraction, which is a number of hundredths. Yeah, it's not like fifths. If I said 3/5, that's 3/5. These are hundredths, which is something we talked about just now in our place value chart. We have hundredths in our place value chart. We want to try and partition this number. We want to split this number into its tenths and its hundredths. Do you know what that would look like? Yeah, there we go. It's 3/10 and 8/100. Look at this one. Use the image to complete the fraction and decimal. There's a fraction and a decimal, and we're using the image. So we know what the fraction is. We have to count up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 altogether. Altogether, how many is the whole? That's your denominator. I think that's going to be 10. How many are we talking about? The green ones probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's going to be 6/10. And that's going to be something in a decimal. Let's have a look. 6/10, 0.6, which is what we looked at in the place value chart as well. We have tenths. Immediately after the decimal point, we have our tenths. Here we would have our hundredths. And here are thousandths. Well done. Complete the statement using a decimal. So here we have something is the same as 3/10. So 3/10. Let's count. This is tens, I hope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 3/10. Hopefully the fraction is going to be 0.3. Yep, 3/10 is the same as 0.3. 3/10 like that. Very good. In this question, you've got to draw an arrow on the number line. Draw an arrow to show where 0.1 would be placed on the number line. 0.1. And then we've got to write that as a fraction. The 0.1, if we think about our place value chart, is going to be in a particular place. Let's have a look. 0.1. If we pop back to this number line, this number wall, and we go to tenths, move me out of the way here. If we've got our tenths, we know that 10/10 make a complete 1. Okay, is that 10 of them? I don't know. No, one more, please. 10/10 make a whole 1 here. That's going to help us think about this, because we've got 10 jumps to get to 1, I hope. And you can do this, yeah? Count them for yourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got to swish my pen back, otherwise it thinks I'm going to try and do something else. I need to get rid of that. But it's 10. It was 10 jumps. If I don't swish my pen back across the screen like this, what it does is it closes the page for me and takes me back to another page. Very annoying. So here we have, draw an arrow to where 1/10 would be on the number line. Yeah, we know that this is 1/10. 0.1 is 1/10. So it's going to be 1 over 10, and the arrow would go here. Okay, 1/10. Yay. Circle the odd one out. The odd one out. So I think we've got to match these and we've got to circle them. So we looked at these discs a little bit like this a while ago. They represent tenths, and I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths there. So let me just get rid of that circle actually, because it's asking me to circle something in the question. So that I think is 7 tenths. Okay, 1/10. This is 1/10, and 7 tenths is going to be this one here as well. So by doing that, I have worked out the circling is going to go over here. This is the odd one out. These tenths here and these 7 tenths here can be seen in our place value chart that we looked at the beginning of the lesson. Let's have a look at that now. Yeah, here's our place value chart. So tenths come straight after the decimal point. They're written here, but it can also be written like this. A tenth or a tenth on place value is right there. So if you have something in that space, that is your tenth, and you know that it's going to be a tenth as a fraction or a tenth as 0.1. They both work. So if there's a 1 there, that is going to be the same as 1/10. If you've got a 5 there, it's going to be 5/10. Good. So because 1/10 matches up to there, 7/10 matches up to there, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths, which match up to there, we know that this is going to be our odd one out. Okay, time for you to have a go. It's the spicy work, using the image to write the fraction as a decimal. So here you can see 100 square. There's 100 things all together there, and how many are coloured in? I can see that there's 3 rows of 10. That's going to be 30. And if we think back to this model, we can see that if it's 100, just like 100 square, 3 complete lines would be 3/10. 8 little squares, like tiny little squares like that, would be 8/100. So every square in the 100 square equals 100th, but if you've got a whole row like this, that is represented by the tenths. That's 3/10. So if I draw 3 of them, boom, boom, 3/10, that's my 100th. That's going to help us with this question we're doing now. There we go. So you can do that now. There are 3 complete lines, so that's complete tenths. And here you've got more than 3 on this side. So you've got to write the image, whatever the image is showing you, as a fraction of tenths and as a decimal of tenths. Same for question 2A and 2B. You've got to look at how many tenths there are. So in this answer, they are looking for a fraction. They're looking for a fraction. That's the spicy work. More spicy work to do with a number line. You're going to have to draw this number line and put an arrow on there where you think 0.2 is. So drawing number lines for question 3A and B, and circling the odd one out. We did odd one out. Let me just move this out of the way. Whee. There we go. You can see that a little bit better now. So pause the video and have a go at spicy work. Pause the video. More spicy work. Pause the video. Spicier video. Read the question, think carefully what it's asking you, put down the answer in both forms. More spicier work here. question 7 and 8. Read the question carefully. What is it asking you? Read the question again. Well done, Year 4. And if you want the spiciest challenge, you are going to do this. Pause the video now. Read the scenario. Read what's happening. Imagine it's you. Imagine you are perhaps Lucy or you are Jamie in these problems, and try and work out whether you are correct or not. Same for question 5. Put yourself in the situation. Imagine you and somebody else having a conversation. Who is right? Who is wrong? Maybe you're both right. Maybe you're both wrong. You're going to have to explain your answer. And as I've said before, that means you're going to write a sentence in your maths learning. It's a sentence with a capital letter and a full stop. You've got to explain it. Yeah. Same as science, same as anything in the world. If you can prove it, you're right. If you could explain you're right, you are right. Someone else might come along and explain you're wrong. And in that case, they might be right. But you've got to be able to explain it, not just say, I think I'm right. Well done, guys. I think that's it. We know it's a couple more for the spiciest. If you want to carry on, spiciest, have a go at these. Well done. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Open.